Hello everybody, it's Gemma here from madebygemcrafts.co.uk. Thank you for joining me again today. Now today on my YouTube channel I've got this project here for you. It's actually a fold out concertina card. So if I undo the ribbon on the box and then I open this out, it pulls out to reveal the card inside. Now this one I've made for Mother's Day. I've got a post-it note popped over the end in the inner section here, just simply because I've already written a message in there for Mother's Day, and no one really needs to see that bit, but I shared this on my team group page because I'm not really one for sharing publicly cards I've made for my family members, but one of the ladies on there has asked me if I had a tutorial, and I thought I would do and film a tutorial for everybody. So you're going to need quite a few bits and pieces for this card. Don't panic if you don't pick up all the measurements. It's not a problem. I will list them all on my blog, and then a link to that will be in the description box below. To start this project you're going to need a piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper. This piece here is from the Bubbles and Fizz designer series paper, which is in the Celebration catalogue. As I say this, we've got roughly 2 weeks left of Celebration. And just a quick note as well, and sorry about sirens if you can hear those. The glimmer paper I used in here is from the Myths and Magic suite in the Spring Summer catalogue, and as of tomorrow the 16th, this is going to be available as a Celebration reward, so you'll be able to pick up a pack of that as well. And to go back to this card, I've got instructions written everywhere because I wasn't actually prepared to do a tutorial today, but I thought, well, why not, let's get on and do one. So as I said, you're going to need a piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper of your choice. The one I used for this card was from the Naturally Eclectic suite, which is in the annual catalogue. I'm going to use a couple of stamps from the Perennial Birthday stamp set. I've got some ribbon here. This is also a Celebration item. And then I've got some cardstock here. This is what I'm going to use to make the box on the outside. And I've got a piece of lemon lime twist and Bermuda Bay. So I've got those, and I'll give you the measurements for those in a moment. And then I've got lots of little bits here. So I'm going to make a birthday one today rather than Mother's Day. So I've got my die cut large letters already cut out that say birthday. So I've already got those. Then I've got some panels for the inside of our card. So I have got 8 pieces of designer series paper, and this has been cut at 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. As I said, I've got 8 of those. And then I've got a piece of Bermuda Bay card and lemon lime twist card, and they are both 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. And then I've got 2 smaller pieces of Whisper White card, and they are 2 inches by 3 1/2. So we've got those. Those are the ones that we can do a bit of stamping on for the inside. So I'll just pop them over there for now out of the way. And then finally I've got 2 more pieces of designer series paper, again from the Bubbles and Fizz suite, and they measure 4 inches by 2 1/2 inches, and they are going to go on the outside of our box. So you'll have to bear with me because I have got lots of bits and bobs everywhere. And then I've got some Bermuda Bay ink that we're going to use to do some stamping. So the first thing we're going to do is cut our piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper. So I'll just bring in my trimmer. Now we're going to cut this into 4-inch wide strips to start with. I'm just going to put that in my trimmer. So that's 1. And again, line up at 4 inches. And that gives us 2, and there's our 3rd one there. So we've got 3 pieces there. One of these strips we are now going to cut down to 5 inches. Like so. Now you can keep this off to the side and use that for another project, or you can use it for this one as part of the decoration somewhere. So I'm done with the trimmer. Now I'm going to grab my scoreboard. Hopefully not making too much noise. There we go. And I'm going to use my scoring tool. Where have I put it? There it is. So I'm going to take this small piece first, so our 4x5 piece, and I'm just going to score that down the middle at 2.5 inches. So that's one piece scored. Now we've got our two strips that are 12 by 4 inches. So I'm going to put this with a 12-inch side across the top, and I'm going to score it at 2.5, 5, 7.5 and 10 inches. So we're doing increments of 2.5 inches, and then I'm going to grab the other piece and I'm going to do exactly the same on this one. So 2.5, 5 inches, 7.5 inches and 10 inches, like so. So that is our inside all ready and scored now. Okay, so I'm going to pop these to one side for just a moment, and I'm going to do the scoring on these pieces of card for our outer box. So this scoring is super simple on these. So this lemon lime twist one measures 5 3/4 by 7 1/4. So all I'm going to do is score it at 3 inches, at 3/4 of an inch, sorry, and 1.5 inches. I'm going to do that on all four sides, so 3/4 of an inch and 1.5, and again, and then our final side 3/4 and 1.5. Then I've got my other piece of card, which is my Bermuda Bay piece, which measures 5 7/8 of an inch by 7 3/8 of an inch. So it's just slightly bigger for the lid. And we're going to score this exactly the same as our other piece. So 3/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches on all four sides. Nice bit of wibbly wobbly scoring there. And the final side 3/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches. So that's all our scoring done. So I'm getting rid of the scoreboard. Okay. Now we can put our concertina part together. So I'm just going to give these score lines a fold and a gentle burnish, not too hard, because obviously we're only using Designer Series coat, and if we press too hard we might tear it. So I'm just going to go over each of my score lines, and you'll see that on each end of these longer pieces we've got a smaller section. So we have 4 sections that are 2.5 inches wide each, and then we've got a shorter end section. That is the piece that we're going to use to attach it all together. So we are going to attach it here in the middle. So we're going to use our shorter, smaller rectangle on this end and attach it just here to this piece, like that. So if I just grab my glue, I can stick this together. So, and then we can pop that on there, just line that up. Stick that down on there. So now we have our 2 long pieces joined together. So we've got one long bit, and then our final piece here, just move this along. We've got another smaller rectangle here, which we can pop our glue on. And then just stick that down onto there. There we go. I mean, the pattern on this is quite random, and it sort of just fits together quite nicely. If you've got a continuous pattern like stripes or whatever, you'll have to turn it around to fit and to match up. But I suggest using maybe quite a random patterned one like this, or quite a plain one. So now we've got it all attached together, we can start the concertina for how it's going to fit into the box. So at this far left hand end, I'm going to fold over. So we're going to valley, mountain, valley, mountain, all the way along to the end, and then this last section here should be a valley fold. So if you turned it over, it's kind of like a book, like so. So you want your folds to be going in these directions. I just stand that up like that, you can see, like so. So that is the basic inside of our box card made. So we can pop that over to one side for a moment, just let that dry off, and then we can do the cutting and folding on our box lid and bottom. So just pick a piece to start with, and we're going to do this exactly the same on both sides. So I'm just going to go over and fold and burnish my score lines, like so. And we've got the double fold over on the edge to give us a nice bit of support and structure to our little box tray type thing, and it just gives you a nice finish on the edge. So I'm going to grab my scissors, and now we're going to do some cutting. I'm going to remove a little bit of these as well. So I'm going to cut straight down on this score line here, like so, and then I'm going to cut down on this one here as well. So we've got 2 squares here, 2 squares there. This one we're going to cut off completely on the outside, and then this one here we're just going to take a little notch out, like so, just to help it fold over. Now you've got 2 rectangles here. On this one here we're just going to snip the corner off as well. That just folds in nice and neatly. Then we're just going to repeat the same around the card. So we're going to notch that in at the same time. Take a corner off. Remove our outer 2 squares completely again. We can angle that in to take our corner off as well. So that's one side done. So we're going to do exactly the same at the other end. Cut down, take a notch off, take our corner off, remove these 2 squares here, taking our corner off at the same time, and then our last one here, like so. Just going to take that off, and there we go, that is our cutting done. Oh, I've got one little corner here. There we go, so just take that off. So that is how it will look once you've finished cutting. Now we need to put some adhesive on our flaps. So if we flip our box over, we're going to put adhesive on these flaps here. And then if I take it back the other way for the inside, we're going to put some adhesive on these tabs here on all 4 sides. So I'm going to use my fast fuse because it's nice and quick and it sticks really well. So I'm going to put 1, 2 strips on there, and then some on this side and this side. So if I turn this over, we can then bring our corners up together and stick them down. Right, one thing I did forget was you may need to trim a little bit off of these so they're not overlapping on the inside of the box. So we're just going to take a little tiny bit off the ends of these ones, and then we can bring that up to join together to make our tray. So that's one side done. And then just go to the opposite end and bring up your sides like so. Ooh. Let's get them in straight. No, let's trim this off. See, happens to all of us, the boo-boos, but we'll keep the boo-boos just to show they prove they do happen to everybody. And there we go, there's our last one. So now we've got our tray stuck together with our 4 tabs. So if we just take some adhesive and we can put some of this on our tabs, then we can just fold that over, then grab your bone folder and push it down nice and secure, and so you get a nice straight edge. There we go. Oh, I can see myself getting tangled up in the fast views here. So let's go around and put some adhesive down. And on our final one, it's probably easier to use some tape or glue on this. So we just fold that over, give it a good push down, and again, fold it down. Our last one here, we'll give that a good squish down. So there is the one side of our box made. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pause the video. I'm going to do the other side up to this point, and then I will meet you again and we shall carry on. So there we go, I have now put together the other side of our box, and so if we just pop this on top, we'll see that they fit together nicely. So there we go, I'll just undo that. So we have got our lid on this side, which is the Bermuda Bay for this card, and our bottom, which is the lemon lime twist. So we'll keep them in that order so we don't get them mixed up. So now we can grab our inside. So this will, if I just bring this back in, they will sit inside our trays like so. But what we're going to do is we're going to decorate them first. So let's do our stamping now. So I've got my 2 pieces of Whisper White, and as I said, I'm going to use the Happy Birthday. Well, I'm going to use the word happy from the Perennial Birthday set, and also we're going to use Here's to Celebrating You. We can use that on one side. So we're going to do a little bit of stamp masking. I'm just going to stick the end of this on my big block. And then just get that nice and straight. Then I can grab some washi tape. I'm just going to pop some over this piece here. I open up my stamp pad. I'm going to use some Bermuda Bay to stamp with, which is really stuck down. Give it a good squish on there. So I'm just going to tap some ink onto this stamp. I'm going to try to not get it all over the stamp. So you'll see I'm just sort of using half of like the edge of the stamp pad. Now I'm going to take this piece of washi tape off because it might have some ink on it. I'm just going to grab another piece and pop it over the same position again, but this time it's going to help me line up where I want the word happy on my piece of card. So you can see, I can see the edge of the word, so I can pop it down, and as you'll see it's quite central in the middle. So there's that piece stamped. Let's grab another block for the sentiment for the other piece. which is the piece where you can write your message on. There we go, so let's just pop that down in the middle of this one. So that's our little bit of stamping done on our cards. So we'll just pop them over there to make sure they're completely dry. And then we can bring in all these pieces of designer series paper and our pieces of card as well. So what I've done with my big letters is I've cut out, running out of space, cut out the word birthday and alternated the colours. So you'll see here, some of them are Bermuda Bay and then some of them are in Lemon Lime Twist. Maybe show my spelling skills here. There we go, I've got it right. So you'll see I've done them alternatively. So I am going to put my pieces of card, my Lemon Lime Twist and Bermuda Bay, in the same order as well on the inside of my card, because these pieces here that we've stamped on will be sticking on to these pieces of card. So I'm going to take my concertina card, push those letters out of the way for now, and we can start sticking these in. So I'm going to do these. There we go. And again, I'm just going to pause so I can pop in the rest of my card and designer series paper. Right, so there we go. We've got all our pieces of designer series paper and card stuck onto our long strip here. Now all we need to do is pop in our piece of Whisper White on either end that we've stamped on. So I'll just pop that one on first. There we go. There's that one, and then at the other end we'll put in the piece that we stamped our little sentiment on as well. And now all we need to do is add in our letters as well. So there's that one and that one. So as I said, I alternatively cut them out in Lemon Lime Twist and Bermuda Bay. Now you can choose to glue these flat on, or there should be enough space in our tray box here for you to use some dimensionals. It's completely up to you. I'm going to use just a bit of glue today, just to keep it quick. So yeah, you can either choose to use designer series paper again on the inside here, or as I used the glittery card to cut out my letters for my Mother's Day card, I actually I did a layer of Tranquil Tide cardstock and then Whisper White, and then I stuck in the letters. So it's up to you. I'll give you the measurements for the layers for these as well. But I quite like how this designer series paper is just really quite loud and leery and bright. So this is ideal for a younger person's birthday card, I would say. And then once you've put all your letters in, you can then, if you wish to, if you're using just Whisper White, maybe you could stamp on the background first before you pop the letters in. It's really up to you. It's your choice on how you want to decorate your project. I'm just giving you the guidelines and the building blocks, as they say, to be able to create your own masterpiece. Ooh, not enough glue on that one. Stick. So I do love seeing everyone else's interpretations and how they've decorated it. So if you do make one, you should pop a picture of it on my Facebook group which is a new group that I've just started on Facebook for anyone to share their creations, whether they be Stampin' Up or not. It's completely up to you, and my new group is called Stamp It, Share It. And as the name says, if you stamped it, share it. If you've made it, share it. There we go. I'll put a link to that group on my in the description box below as well. So come along and join up. So that's all our letters stuck in. So now we can finish off our box. So if we fold this back in on itself. So and remember, as I said, this is the way you want it folded, like so. So it opens, the top, the first one opens like a book, like so. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put some glue on this side here and the other side, and we're going to stick it into our box. So I'm going to start with the bottom first. I'm going to put a good amount of glue on here. And then I'm just going to flip it over. Make sure you've got it up the right way. Actually, it doesn't matter so much at the moment because we're only doing the back. When it comes to the front, make sure you've got it around the right way. So I'm going to put that in there. It's going to squidge around a bit because we've got wet glue, but you can just line it up so it's nice and straight. And as you see, if I'm pressing down quite hard, you see that I've got quite a lot of room inside the box. So if you wanted to use dimensionals for your letters, you would be able to. There's enough room inside the box. So that's one side. You see, if I just pull that out, we've got this stuck in. You can just open it out just to make sure it's quite nice and straight. See, I have the joy of using wet glue for this. Got a bit of wiggle room. So there's that side. Now we need to pop our lid on as well. So I'm going to put some glue on this top side, and then I'm going to put the lid on the box like that, and I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to give it a bit of a tap down. I'm going to start just by pressing it down gently, okay, because inside there is a gap. So if you squish this down really hard, you're going to make a dent on the outside of your box. So I'm very carefully, you'll see that's just stuck and it's just taken. So now I can just open it out and then just make sure it's nice and straight. Put that down and give it a squish with my fingers like so. And then that's that side stuck down as well. So I'm going to fold that and shut that for a moment. I'm going to turn it over, and we've got a piece of ribbon here. Put some in a little plastic baggie, which I can't get open. Oh, there we go, round the wrong way. So I've got various pieces of ribbon in here. Let's see what we got. This is going to be, that's going to be long enough to go across there. So I'm just going to get my fast fuse. I'm just going to carefully put a little strip of that in the middle and try and find the middle and just pop that down on top. Then I've got my pieces of designer series paper here, which are going to go on the back of our box. So here's one piece. I'm just going to stick that over the top of the ribbon to hold it in place nicely. So we've got that piece there. Right, so now we can turn it over. So now this is going to come together. I'm going to tie a bow. This piece is going to be for the front. I think what I'm going to do, just grab my trimmer, and I'm going to put another piece of card behind my piece of designer series paper here, because it's just all a bit, it's a bit Bermuda Bay, isn't it? So that's 2 1/4, so let's go 2.5 inches. And what's the length like? 2.5 by 4 1/8. I think. There we go. See, this is the thing. People will say to me, "Oh, how did you make so and so?" And I go, "Oh, I can't remember. I kind of made it up as I went along. And I'm trying to be good now and to write things down. So here we go. A little bit of ad-lib in our project. So I'm going to stick this one down first on top. Like that. And then I'm going to add my designer series paper on top. Like so. Bit of a funny fit, that one, isn't it? There we go. I'm sure it'll still look amazing. So we've got that, and then I have got somewhere, I've got a scrap of the glimmer paper from the set that I was using. I'm going to just punch out a balloon which is all flying using my balloon punch. Let's go find it. There we go. So now I've got a little bit. Oh, it's flapping around all over the place. So I've got a little balloon punched out in some glimmer paper. I'm just going to pop that on the top. So let's just tie a quick bow to finish this off. There we go. Oh dear. All fingers and thumbs today. There we go. There we go, that's our very poorly tied bow. And let's pop a bit of glue on the back of our balloon. And we can just pop that on the front. And there we go, we've got our card. So thank you for bearing with me as we made this one today. It was a bit of a longer one. As always, all the measurements, all the supplies I've used, everything will be listed on my blog, and the link to that's in the description box below. And also there'll be a link to my group on Facebook, Stamp It, Share It as well. Hope you come along and join us. And I will see you all again soon for my next tutorial. Thank you for watching. Bye.